I feel like I should be in the movie Twilight because my skin is about see-through at this point. If you're interested in learning about one step away from having everything, whether it's abundance, love, happiness, anything, listen to this live, especially in the crazy times that we're living in on planet Earth where we are the insects that they're trying to exterminate. So listen to this if you want to make your life better. Hi. So I always like to start off my lives with stories. And last night I am talking to my nephew and he sent me a DM and he said, because he was supposed to go to the Super Bowl. Obviously, we're from Philly, so they were trying to get tickets for the last week or since they won. And I'm like, Lucci, going to the Super Bowl? No, I don't think we're going to go. They can't get hotels, whatever. And so last night he sends me a DM and he says, I'm going to the Super Bowl. I totally manifested it. This is my 20-year-old nephew. And that was probably one of the greatest moments of my existence. He said, I totally manifested it. I said, did you? He said, yeah, absolutely. And he said, I write down my manifestations every day. I said, what? You write them down? He said, yeah, I write down, and we're going to talk about this. I write down my manifestations 3 times in the morning, 6 times in the afternoon, and 9 times at night. That is known as the 369 method. Right? Your imagination is your preview of life's coming attractions. That's Albert Einstein. Your imagination is your preview of life's coming attractions. So if you're thinking negative shit all day long, your imagination is your preview of life's coming attractions. If you change that and you start to think about all these amazing things that are going to happen in your life, your imagination is your preview of life's coming attractions. So the 369 method, which is what my nephew has used, and he manifested going to the Super Bowl. So that's pretty incredible. The Super Bowl is not cheap. Getting all these things together and being able to, have all these parts, and this is what manifestation is about, is not worrying about the how is this going to happen? It's going to be impossible to get to the Super Bowl. If you think like that, there's no shot that you're going. But if you have it in your mind, you're going to the Super Bowl, you write it down. I'm so happy and grateful that I'm going to the Super Bowl. It's going to be so much fun. Things can just literally come out of nowhere and someone's like, hey, I just got a ticket. Do you want it? Anything can happen. So the 369 method, this is a powerful method. This method is powerful. It is a powerful scripting method used to help manifestations become reality. The 369 method manifestation was polarized. Why can't I not read today? Was popularized through social media and is often associated with the teachings of Nikola Tesla. Write down an affirmation or manifestation goal stating what you want to manifest as if it's already yours, which is in the present. Example, I am in love with my new car. You already have it. I love my new car. It's amazing. I'm so excited I'm going to the Super Bowl. Write down your affirmation 3 times in the morning to start your day. Write this affirmation down 6 times in the afternoon. And then finally, before going to bed, write your affirmation 9 times. This is the 369 method by Nikola Tesla. The idea is that the repetition of these intentions, numbers, and the focus intention on your manifestation goal will help you to align your energy with what you want to attract in your life. So in just about a week or less, my nephew manifested going to the Super Bowl in New Orleans. So this is the magic that can happen when you change your mindset. Then last night I was watching, I don't know who this guy is, but he's a billionaire at this point. He woke up one day and he's like, you know what? For the rest of my life, I want to make $100,000 a week. This guy was serious business. Now this is like really thinking, I can do anything. Because even when I think about, I want to make $100,000 a week, like it sounds like something so astronomical. It's actually not. So this guy said, I want to make $100,000 a week. So he wrote down I want to make $100,000 a week for the rest of my life, and added details to it. Goes to a restaurant it was a diner in New York, and it was just like a long table where just all people just sat together, even though they weren't together. So there's a guy sitting diagonal to him, and the person that was manifesting $100,000 a week said, "I think I know you. Aren't you on those infomercials?" He said, "Yeah, I'm doing these infomercials, really great, blah, blah, blah." So the guy said, "I'm a memory, I teach people how to have like really amazing memories. I'm a memory master or something." And the guy said, "Wow, that's really interesting." He said, "Do you have any courses or anything like that?" And he's like, "Yeah, I do. I have courses or whatever." He's like, whatever, they're talking. So the guy's like, "You know what? You should do an infomercial." And this guy had, I don't know if he owned a company that does infomercials, something along those lines. So he's like, "Yeah, that's a great idea, but I don't think it's going to work. I don't think that kind of thing would work for what I teach." He's like, "No, I'm telling you, it would be really amazing. Like you should do this and turn it into an infomercial." So he says, "I'll give you my card." So he goes back to his hotel. He said he calls his answering machine. This is in 1988. Calls his answering machine at home, and some guy that he works with or has or knows called him and said, "Hey, I think that you should do, this is in the same exact day, I think that you should turn your program into an infomercial." This is when infomercials were super popular on TV, 1988. So he said, "You're the second person that told me this in literally a day." He's like, "This is not a coincidence." He said, "I'll tell you what, whoever sends me a contract first is who I'm going to sign the deal with." So both guys sent him the contract, but the one friend that called him on the answer machine ended up getting the contract to him fastest. So he signed a contract with this guy. The other person reached out and said, "Hey, do you want to do this? Like, we should do it. It would be really great." So fast forward, he says, "No, I already signed it with somebody, but thank you so much." He said, "It's going to be great. You're going to do amazing." So from there, in his first week, I think he said he made $233,000 airing this infomercial. This is a man that said, he wrote it down, "I want to make $100,000 a week for the rest of my life." This guy had an idea, he had intentions, he had his visualizations, and he knew exactly what he wanted. Most people would dare to even ask for $5,000 a month to try and manifest. This guy was going for $100,000 a week for the rest of his life, and now this guy is a billionaire. So it's just to say that anything is possible, and we're going to talk about Your Infinite Power to Be Rich by Joseph Murphy. We can have it. The only thing, again, always that's keeping us from having the things that we want in life is our own mindset and mentality. It's our own subconscious programming. You can never have that amount of money. Money's so hard to make. What is your story about money? What is your story about your life? Because whatever your story is, we'll read, what did he say? We can find this. Albert Einstein. Where is it? Let's see. I fold these pages and then I lose my shit. Your imagination is your preview of life's coming attractions. So if you know that to be true, that your imagination is your preview of life's coming attractions, and all day long you think about like how you don't have money and you can never pay your bills, what am I going to do? This leads me to my next book, which is Your Infinite Power to Be Rich by Joseph Murphy. Excuse me, we're going to talk about this. A woman who listens to my radio show every morning wrote to me and said, "My bills are piling up. I'm out of work. I have 3 children and no money. What should I do?" I suggested that she relax and condense the idea of her needs into a little phrase. God supplies all my needs now. God supplies all of my needs now. The significance of these words to her meant the realization of all her desires, such as bills being paid, a new position, a new home, a husband, food and clothing for the children, and an ample supply of money. She repeated the phrase over and over again like a lullaby. Each time she affirmed, "God supplies all of my needs now." A feeling of warmth and peace stole over her heart until she reached the point of conviction and felt the reality of it. Feeling is the secret to manifestation. So maybe when you first start doing your affirmations, you feel like an idiot. You feel completely delusional. And that's really the whole thing about manifestation, is becoming delusional until that reality is your actual reality. It comes to you in the form of the flesh, the physical reality. So while you're doing these affirmations, you might feel like an idiot. You might think like, "Oh, I'm so stupid. This is never going to happen for me." But you keep persisting in the idea. God supplies all my needs now. God supplies all my needs now. Every time you doubt something, God supplies all my needs now. And eventually she said that she felt convicted by it. She felt the conviction of it. She felt the realness of it. And it became natural. God supplies all my needs now. This woman shortly achieved astonishing results. Her sister, who she had not seen in 15 years, visited her from Australia and gave her $5,000 in cash, as well as other gifts. She then became a secretary to a doctor and married him within 1 month. She is now supremely happy. The ways of the infinite truly are past finding out. This woman has truly found the storehouses of riches within herself. The storehouses of riches are within every single one of us. Every one of us can tap into the infinite riches that are within our own human imagination. You could be struggling your whole life and then turn into a millionaire. There's an energy in the emotion of thrill that attracts. Exactly. If someone came to you and said, I am going to give you infinite amounts of money for the rest of your life, you'd never have to worry about paying a bill ever again. And you got your first payment, and then you got your second payment. Maybe at first you're like, I don't believe this. Then you got your first payment. Okay, this is crazy. Then you got your second payment. Oh my God. And then eventually it just became your lifestyle where you just expect that this money is coming into you. You can have any of the things that you could ever want. All of a sudden, money does not become a problem anymore. And that's what it is to manifest. It's as if someone said to you, at the end of this month, I'm going to give you a check for 10 million. And they're serious and you know they're serious. Are you going to stop and think about, well, how am I going to pay my bills? Like that feeling will all of a sudden be jarred out of the subconscious because you're like, I'm getting 10 million at the end of this month. And then all of a sudden, what do you start to think about? What am I going to do with this money? Okay, I'm going to buy a property for myself. I'm going to buy some investment properties, whatever. I'm going to buy this business. I'm going to start this business that I always wanted to do. All of a sudden, your mind goes from a state of worry to a state of excitement, to a state of creativity. And that's literally what manifestation is. It's living as if someone is telling you at the end of the month, you're going to have 10 million. You never have to worry about anything again. That's how much faith that you have to have in the laws of the universe, in the law of assumption. I'm just assuming that the universe has my back. I'm just assuming that God supplies all of my needs now. Ask questions, guys, if you have them. I have the faith that God supplies all my needs now, so why am I still going to worry about where my bills are coming from? Why am I going to still worry about where my next dollar is coming from? God supplies all of my needs now. Not tomorrow, not 10 years from now. God supplies all of my needs now. So it's literally as if someone says, end of the month, you got 10 million. Start to think about all the things that you're doing. Feeling is the secret to manifestation. Getting excited about your new life. Write down what it is your new life. If you have a perfect day in your head, write it down in the present tense, your perfect day. What is your perfect day? Write it out in present tense. And then read it. Read it every day. Read it several times a day. I practiced being thrilled that I was going to win a lawsuit. I lost and appealed, and I won $3,000 per month forever. I practiced being thrilled that I was going to win a lawsuit. I lost, and I appealed it. He could have said, well, I did my best. It sucks that I lost. Sucks that this happened to me, and now nothing's going to come of it, but oh well. Many people would take that as the L. They would be like, you know what? It just wasn't meant to be. But Benny knows the laws of attraction, the laws of assumption, the laws of the universe, and he practiced being thrilled about it. So that's the perfect example of the bridge of incidents. You're building a bridge with your thoughts to get to the other side, which is your destined end game. Maybe your destined end game is to have this huge successful business. And then when you're excited, you're getting this property, you're going to rent this property out to open your storefront, and the deal falls through. People with a victim mindset would say, it's just not meant to be. I'm not supposed to open this business. It's not a good time right now. Walk away. Continue being miserable at your job that you hate instead of going after your dreams because you don't believe that it's possible. That is you ruining the bridge of incidents. If it's not your end goal, it's not the end. Unless you tell yourself, oh, it's just not meant to be. It's not going to happen. Benny could have said, I lost. What am I going to do? That's it. I tried. He appealed it. He didn't take no for an answer. And he saw it in his mind. I practiced being thrilled that I was going to win. I'm so excited. Like I can't believe this. I'm getting all this money every single month for the rest of my life. So now he won and he gets $3,000 a month forever. Thanks, peeps. I've been feeling low and now back up to encouragement. This is why it's important to do these lives and show up here together, because everybody gets disappointed. We all get in a rut. We look at the state of the world and we're like, we are so done. What else is going to happen? Or we could say, God, show me how good it can get. God supplies all my needs now. I could sit there and say, oh, this, it's everything's so expensive. Like, how can I afford this? Or I could sit there and say, like this lady, God supplies all my needs now. She hadn't talked to her sister in 15 years. She hadn't seen her. Her sister shows up out of nowhere, gives her $5,000, gives her gifts. And then all of a sudden, everything else. She got a job, this woman, and then she was married in 1 month. God supplies all my needs now. It's not God will help to supply my needs. That is future tense. We're not talking future. We're talking present. God supplies all my needs now. Not God will supply all my needs. Well, maybe God will supply your needs in 30 years. Does that work for you? God supplies all my needs now. I just pinned this. Why does it do this to me? Tell it like it is, Mayor. This is one of my favorite things about that Joseph Murphy talks about. If you're new to manifestation, first book I would recommend, The Power of the Subconscious Mind by Joseph Murphy. You want to know how all this shit works? Read The Power of Your Subconscious Mind by Joseph Murphy. It's going to change your life. You're going to think twice about how you think every single minute of your life. What did I think? How did I think myself into this reality? What have I been thinking that got me to exactly where I am? And then once you have the awareness of your thoughts, that's when things can start to change. I swear to God, I look like I'm supposed to be in the movie Twilight, like I'm almost see-through white. Poverty is a disease. Disease means a lack of ease, poise, balance, and equilibrium. Can someone write out The Power of the Subconscious Mind by Joseph Murphy so I can pin it? I'm drinking my cellar dries. Can you tell them a little like next level energy? Okay. Disease means lack of ease, poise, balance, and equilibrium. Look around you and you will find people in all walks of life and in all types of businesses and professions who are getting rich and achieving their goals of life, while others nearby and in the same exact work and profession remain poor, ill-clad, and ill-fed. Now, there are some people, I'm reading from Your Infinite Power to Be Rich by Joseph Murphy. Thank you. Thank you very much. So how's that possible? Like, for example, I'm in LifeWave. Crushing LifeWave. Like, I've helped thousands and thousands of people from all around the world. It's the most amazing feeling, right? But there are people in LifeWave that are making no money at all. They're not able to sell. They're not able to help people. And I can literally tell within a minute of speaking to these people because of their mindset. I know, but it's just so hard. Like, where am I supposed to find people to help and whatever? I'm like, there are people all around you at all times of the day. You could literally wear a patch on your chest. You could wear a patch on your forehead and someone's going to say, hey, what is that? But if you have a victim mentality and a poverty mindset, No amount of what I tell you, if you don't listen, is going to help you to change that. So there are people within LifeWave that are making over $100,000 a month. And then there are other people that are struggling to make one sale. We're both selling the same product. Everyone in the company is selling the same product. What is the difference between someone that is making like crazy amounts of money that you're just like, holy shit, like that's goals right there. And then there's the other person that's, well, I don't want people to think like that I'm just trying to sell something. I don't want people to like think like, that I'm just using social media to, make a sale. Those are people that live in the state of poverty and a poverty mindset, because if you're not sharing probably one of the greatest inventions that's ever come into existence on earth, and you are not helping people because of your own mindset, you're an idiot. Sorry. If you were physically ill, you would visit your doctor and have a physical checkup in order to correct the condition at once. We don't do that anymore, but it's okay. This book is old. No matter how poor you may seem to be, if you habitually begin to think of riches, advancement, expansion, and progress, you will automatically receive a healing response from your subconscious mind, and your good fortune will be multiplied and magnified in countless measures and ways. That's it. That is it. We can all help people in this world, in our profession, in our everyday life, put out the energy of goodness, and goodness will return to you. But if we're putting out the energy of victimhood every single day, the energy of victimhood can be returned back to you. That's it. There are people that might be the worst salesmen, but their mentality is, money is so easy to make. Money is so easy to make. It's effortless. You could be the worst person at sales, and people will literally just come to you out of the blue. Now, what do you have going on? Maybe you're just a really interesting person that always has like the coolest things. And someone's like, hey, what are you up to now? And maybe you suck at sales and you know that you suck at sales, but you think money is easy to make. Millions of dollars comes to me effortlessly. And you might suck at being in the sales industry. But money still just flows to you in avalanches because you believe that it's easy to make. So it's not necessarily that we have to be amazing, great, wonderful at everything. Look at some people that are in the top positions. They're dumb. Maybe they don't really have anything to offer, but they believe this is easy to be the CEO of a company. This position is easy for me. When you go to my whole life of auditioning, they wouldn't pick the prettiest person. They wouldn't pick the most talented person. So they picked the person that energetically, magnetically knew that they were going to be booked for this thing. Of course, there's a lot of other factors. But a lot of times you'll see people in movies be like, wow, they're the worst actor or actress I've ever seen. But they created a belief system that said, I am a star. I'm going to be the biggest celebrity in the world. Marilyn Monroe used to play with this shit every single day. She would turn on her energy and become just a magnet for anyone that was in her energy field or around her. Because again, it's learning to manipulate and master energy. So you don't have to be the most talented person. You don't have to be the most beautiful person. You don't have to be the smartest person to have everything. It is your belief that you can have it that gets you that. And it's not like you could just think all day and it just falls out of the sky. It can happen that way. But you have to take inspired action. If you want to open a business, just go start looking at real estate. Go start looking at the empty stores. Imagine in your mind, wow, I can really see my store here and see how successful it is. That's taking inspired action. So again, it's not about being the best. It's not about being the most beautiful or the most handsome or whatever. How many times do you see the most really good looking person with a person that's not so good looking? You see that a lot. Why is that person with that person? They can have anybody that they want. Because the person that's not so good looking sees themselves as the prize. They see themselves as being so lovable. They see themselves as being amazing. They see themselves as just being blessed in life. And that is a mindset that we want to get to. So you may be in debt, however, and no funds, influence, or tangible assets, but if you will begin to claim, God's wealth is circulating in my life, and there always is a divine surplus. Again, God's wealth is circulating in my life, and there is always a divine surplus. Wonders will soon happen in your life. Oh my God, it was a miracle. No, it was just the transfer of energy from one state of mind to another state of mind. That's all that it is. Like Benny said, he had a court case that he lost. Guys, you tell me to pin that. Can you write it and then I'll pin it? I can't type on here while I'm talking because then I just lose focus. He could have walked away from this. He could have walked away and said, I lost a lawsuit. Sucks. Sucks for me. But he was like, he got excited about winning. Yes, I'll repeat it. God's wealth is circulating in my life, and there is always a divine surplus. I wish we could pin more than one comment, but God's wealth is circulating in my life, and there's always a divine surplus. Okay. As I was writing this first chapter of this book, an elderly woman called me and said it was a miracle. She and her husband had been receiving a very small pension and barely could make ends meet. I had given her a special prayer to use. Here's another one, guys. God's wealth is circulating in my life. Okay, we'll pin this, Karen. And maybe if you guys like this one better, we can pin that one. God's wealth is circulating in my life. His wealth flows to me in avalanches of abundance. And I give thanks for my good now and for all of God's riches. I'll repeat it. God's wealth is circulating in my life. His wealth flows to me in avalanches of abundance, and I give thanks for my good now and for all of God's riches. She had kept repeating this prayer knowingly and feelingly many times during the day, and at the end of about 2 weeks, this is the homework today. You can use the post that the comment that Karen pinned, write it down or screenshot it. Every hour, make that your alarm on your phone. That affirmation, God's wealth is always circulating in my life and there's always a divine surplus. Make that go off on your phone every single hour for the next 2 weeks. At the end of 2 weeks, let's come back on here and say, what are the things that have shifted in my life? That is the homework. She kept repeating this prayer knowingly and feelingly many times during the day. And at the end of 2 weeks, a man came to her door. She said it was out of the blue, and asked her about a lot which she owned in the center of the desert. There were no homes there, no water, only brush and cactus. She had tried for years to sell it, and no one would even look at it. So in her mind, she's like, nobody's ever going to want this. No one's ever going to, this lot, I'm going to have it forever. Nobody's ever going to want it. And then she started changing her mindset. God's wealth is circulating in my life. His wealth flows to me in avalanches of abundance. And I give thanks for my good now. I give thanks for my good now and for all God's riches. So this guy comes to her door out of the blue. The man said, our company wants, she had tried for years to sell it. No one would look at it. And the man said, our company wants it to install electricity and power for the construction purposes nearby. She was given $10,000 for the so-called worthless lot. This was not a miracle. It was the response of her subconscious mind to her request. Its infinite ways are past finding out. Its infinite ways are past finding out, meaning you have no idea where money can come from. She started to do this prayer all day. God's wealth is circulating in my life. His wealth flows to me in avalanches of abundance. And I give thanks for my good now for all God's riches. Now, this book was written a really long time ago. So at that time, $10,000 was, a lot of money. Thanks, Ben. I really am. I'm a character in Twilight at this point with how white I am. And when I go into the sun, I sparkle with glitter. So we can continue to live in a state of my life sucks, nothing ever worked out for me. We can do that. We can sabotage our own goodness, our own wealth, our own happiness, our own love, our own joy, everything. I'm laughing because many times when you're conscious of your thoughts, and sometimes you just sabotage and you're you're spiraling with a thought, all of a sudden that thought turns up into reality and you're like, you idiot, you were literally just thinking that for the last week and now here it is. And you're like, okay, well now I gotta undo it. Let's get out my magic wand, which is my mind. So I manifested this whole scenario to unfold. Surely enough, it did. Not in a favorable way at all. I was like, well, you thought yourself into it, you better think yourself out. I just started to do these affirmations. I started to think about the scenario, blah, blah, blah. And it was like Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, 3 days. In 3 days, the situation completely turned around to exactly what I saw in my head. So it just goes to show you, when you have awareness of what you're thinking that you know is causing your reality, you know that you can rethink yourself out of it. I cancel and delete those thoughts. Mare, I was just in like a spiral and I was just allowing myself to spiral. And then I was like, okay, time to take control of that situation again. And I redid it in my head. And then it unfolded in the way that I wanted it to. So you don't need, we all have our own magic wand. So once we are really capable of dissecting what it is that the bad thoughts are, we're so quick to say, I knew this would happen when something negative happens in our life. Nope, we made it happen. Now let's make positive things happen. So exactly. When you say, I knew this was going to happen, your energy field is what made that happen. It is your expectation of that happening. Again, going back to my nephew from the beginning of this. They were supposed to go to the Super Bowl. Everything fell through. He could have said, all right, no big deal. I texted him a couple days ago, what are you doing for the Super Bowl? I don't know. I'll probably go to my friends. I was like, all right, well, let me know. And then literally yesterday, he's like, I'm going to the Super Bowl. I manifested it. He could have easily said, like, I'm not going. I'm just going to make plans with my friends and that's it. But in his mind, he was doing the 3-6-9 method. He said, I knew I was going. I knew I was going to the Super Bowl. Like, no matter what, he's like, I knew I was going. And it's just having the blind faith of something happening that's good. Because we have blind faith every single day of bad things happening. We fight with people in our head. I know this isn't going to go through. I'm never going to be able to get that dream house. I wish I had a nicer car. We're in a state of victimhood. Mary, that was music to my ears. Like, you can't even believe. I was just like, what? You manifested it. And then he told me he does the 3-6-9 method every day. I almost fell off my chair. Not because I'm surprised that he did it, but I'm just like, oh no. It just goes to show you, when you pay attention to things and when you understand how powerful your thoughts are, you start to think different. Or you spiral out of control, you manifest the thing that you didn't want, and then you, what is it that Neville Goddard says? That you re-what it. It's not reimagine, but it is that. But there's a certain word that he uses. Okay, I can't think of it. But you can literally reimagine a situation. So if you thought yourself into a bad situation, you can literally think yourself out of it. What is it called? Does anybody know the word that Neville always uses? I can't think of it right now. Our survival mechanism in our brain makes us focus on the negative things that hurt us for our own survival. We must rewire. Absolutely, 100%. And that's what these lives are about, is rewiring the brain, because that is how you get to the things that you want in life, is by rewiring your brain from negative thoughts all the time, thinking negative, and I could never have that, I'm always so sick, to thinking I'm so healthy every single day. I can't believe how healthy I am. It's unbelievable how healthy I am. One of Neville's things was, isn't it wonderful? Isn't it wonderful that I have all the things that I dreamed of? Isn't it wonderful that I am married to the man or woman of my dreams? Isn't it wonderful that I have this amazing brand new car that gets me everywhere safely? Isn't it wonderful that I have this successful business? Isn't it wonderful? Isn't it wonderful? So last night I did a live with Tiffany. So if you guys didn't see it, go back and watch it because someone said, please help rewire my brain. When you do theta wave or theta healing, it removes those subconscious programmings. Revision. Thank you. Holy hell. Really quickly, Neville talks about revising. He talks about revision. Seeing things happen in a totally different way than they actually did. It's called revision. Thank you. What was I just saying before that? I forgot what I was just saying. Rewiring and theta. Hell is a state of mind. Heaven is a state of mind. We can live in heaven or hell every single day. We get to choose. But talking about, I just lost my train of thought again about what I was saying a second ago. I'm so happy and grateful now that, yes, that's Bob Proctor. I am so happy and grateful now that money flows to me in avalanches of abundance through multiple sources on a continuous basis. That's one of his famous quotes. I don't remember what I was saying. The entire universe is conspiring to give you everything that you want. Now, everything that you want doesn't necessarily mean your conscious thoughts. Your subconscious and the universe is just conspiring to give you all the things that you believe to be true. So if you believe to be true, I'm so sick all the time. Like, why am I always so sick? The entire universe is conspiring to give you everything that you want. It's not what you want, but that is the energy that comes from you. Is the expectation of illness and sickness. Is the expectation that I'll never have enough money. Is the expectation that I'll never find the partner that I want. Is the expectation that nobody chooses me and I have no friends. The entire universe is conspiring to match your energy. To give you all the things that are on that frequency. I'm so sick. Okay, the universe is going to give you another respiratory illness. I'll never amount to anything. Okay, the universe is conspiring to give you everything that you want. Again, it's coming from your energy field. Until you consciously change these things. To God's wealth is always circulating in my life, and there's always a divine surplus. Right? Okay, vision board method. So, my vision board, you can do a physical one, My vision board is the wallpaper of my phone. So every time that I open my phone, I see my vision board. How many times do people open their phones a day? How many times do you open your phone an hour? How many times do you open your phone every 5 minutes? If your vision board is the background of your phone, your subconscious will see that all the time. I literally made a collage. I cut things out, whatever. I used PixArt. And I made my background of my phone my vision board. Because I'm going to get all the things that I want. And nothing is going to stop me because in my belief system, I'm just like, this is easy. This is effortless to me. Did I always have this mindset? No. Did I always think about the law of attraction? Yes, but I didn't understand it. I'd be driving down the PCH when I was living in West Hollywood. Where the hell was I going? I was going to do makeup for Christine, I think. And I was listening to Jake Ducey, and he was saying Bob Proctor's affirmations. I didn't know it was Bob's at the time, but it would just be a repetition all the time. And literally, like that next day or the same day, I would get a call from somebody. Hey, can you do this makeup job? Can you do this hair job? And it would pay. We're paying $1,200 for the day. We're paying, whatever. So when I started to reprogram my mind, just listening to these audios, like if you're in your car, stop wasting time listening to music. Put on affirmations. Put on a podcast about manifesting your greatest life. Put on a podcast about how to reprogram your subconscious mind. Use all the in-between times to be learning something that is going to get you further in life to where you want to go or closer to the things that you want. So your vision board, you should absolutely put that on the background of your phone, because your subconscious mind, even if you don't see it, your subconscious mind knows that it's there and it's seeing the imagery. There's subconscious programming all around us, billboards. You barely see the billboard. Maybe you glance up at it while you're working, while you're driving. Maybe it's something about getting into a car accident, about a lawyer. It's like these little tiny things that literally imprint the subconscious mind, and you don't even realize it. Or maybe it's a makeup ad. Then all of a sudden you find yourself online later buying makeup. So if you have if we have subconscious programming, make your phone work for you. Make your vision board on the background of your phone so that it's working for you constantly. The homework of this week is put this quote, this affirmation, God's wealth is always circulating in my life, as a reminder every hour on your phone. Mine goes off all the time. And it's very specific. So every hour that alarm goes off and I see that affirmation. I'm like, okay, gotcha. So if we're having our poster, our vision board on the background of our phone, if we're having an hourly reminder, or every 30 minutes or every 10 minutes you have this reminder on your phone about an affirmation, things are going to start to shift and change in your life. You're one step away from having everything. You are one step away from having everything. Step 1, put the reminder on your phone. Step 2, the vision board on the background of your phone. So now you're closer than one step away. We can take that journey today to start changing our life, to have all the things that we want. And you're going to shift and you're going to change, and all of a sudden you're going to have all the things that you ever wanted. You're like, hey, how'd this happen? But you're going to know exactly how it happened. So I hope that you guys have an amazing Friday. I will see you. I feel like I'm talking so fast. I'm drinking this Allergize. Amazing Friday, amazing weekend. I'll see you on Monday. Actually, I'll be live this weekend with Julie Miller. That's going to be an interesting live. So we'll do that this weekend. I don't know if it's going to be tonight or tomorrow night or whatever, but that's going to be a great conversation about all the things that are relevant right now. So I love you all. I hope you have a beautiful weekend. I'm talking really fast. And I will see you at some point this weekend. Adios. Love you too.